Hey everybody, I'm Sam Jagoda. I've been playing golf since 2020. I picked it up during the pandemic. I'm now about a 5 handicap and my best ever score is 3 under par, a 69. This is how I would start playing golf if I had to start over today from scratch. Due to the fact that a lot of my videos are golf related, but not actual golf, such as putt-putt or backyard games, I have a lot of followers that are not golfers and they'll send me a DM. Hey, I've never played before. I'd like to pick it up. How do I get started? Here's my little roadmap for how you can go from I've never picked up a club to I'm golfing today. Step number 1, just jump in. You need golf clubs and you need a place to swing those golf clubs. And that's pretty much it. Don't overthink the equipment from the start. If you're seriously committed to golf or you just have a lot of money to blow, getting a new set of clubs is great. Awesome, definitely encourage it. But if you're like me and you want to research a little bit, you kind of want to dip your toes in and see if golf is a passion you really want to invest some time and money into, I recommend just getting a couple of golf clubs. You can go to Goodwill, you can go to a lot of used sporting goods stores, like a Play It Again Sports. I've found a lot of really good club sets, beginner club sets, even full 14 club sets on Craigslist, OfferUp, places like that where you can get something used. If this is your very first time and you just want to go hit a club, I'd say find your nearest Goodwill and pick something up and take it to the driving range. Honestly, some of the most fun I've ever had playing golf has come from getting crappy or old golf clubs and just taking them out and whacking them and having a good time. The goal here is that you have a basic lineup that you can get some solid practice in with. I would recommend definitely a putter, a driver, maybe a fairway wood, like a 3-wood or something. I'd get a couple of irons. You don't need a ton of irons, maybe 3 or 4, and then find yourself a wedge. There are about 4 main categories of wedges to choose from: pitching wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge, and lob wedge. They all have their own purpose, but for you getting started, you just need one so you can practice chipping. Now that you've got your golf clubs, you need to find a place to use them. My personal recommendation is a driving range, a practice facility, or even Topgolf. There's nothing wrong with starting out on a real golf course, but I find that it can be a little bit intimidating and kind of a high stress environment to make sure you're keeping up with the pace of play. And you're likely gonna need some extra equipment like tees, golf balls, and maybe even like a polo. I recommend starting at a driving range because really the only thing you're gonna need to bring is your golf clubs. You'll get the balls there, and typically for most driving ranges, there's not much of a dress code, so as long as you're not shirtless, you can just go out there and practice, hit a couple of golf balls. All right, nice. Now you have some golf experience. You've gone out to the range, you've hit some balls, you've got the feeling of it. You want to find the perfect golf course. Where do you go? I look for one of 3 options. First off, I look for maybe a pitch and putt course, a par 3 only course, or a city municipal course like my home course, Dobson Ranch. And I think out of the 3, I definitely recommend going with like a par 3 course to start, because hitting it far on a full-sized muni course can be kind of difficult and can keep you from getting in good practice because you just simply can't hit the ball far enough yet. These 3 types of golf courses are great for beginner golfers because there's gonna be a lot of other people like you who are just discovering the game, just getting their first reps in, and everything's gonna be a little bit more relaxed. I highly recommend that you look up the rules of golf etiquette, how to make sure you are taking good care of the course, taking good care of the golfers around you, and not disturbing anyone while still having a great time. But the nice thing about these 3 types of courses I listed is that usually they are pretty chill and they're understanding that you're new to the game. One of my personal favorite methods is to call and get the last tee time of the day, and you can even say something like, hey, I'm just kind of getting started, because if you're the last tee time out, there's gonna be no one behind you really pushing you, and the golf course is going to be aware that you're just coming out and trying golf for the first time, which they love because more customers. Okay, now for a tip that I wish I knew much sooner into my golf career. Get rid of most of the clubs in your bag. I know that sounds weird, but farther down the road when you're more experienced, you're going to know exactly the yardages you want to hit all 14 clubs in your bag. But just getting it started, it's gonna feel intimidating. You're gonna be unsure of which club you wanna hit. You're gonna be unsure of which clubs you know how to hit. And so my recommendation, something I wish I did from the beginning, is to cut it down to maybe 6 or 7 clubs in your bag for a round. On the driving range, hit them all, get some good practice in. But when you're actually trying to play some golf, minimize your options. I'd probably stick with putter and driver, maybe a fairway wood, 1 wedge, and then 2 to 3 iron options. If I were to pick, I would go 9 iron, 7 iron, and 5 iron. I like the odd numbers. Hopefully your golf career is gonna be plenty long and you're gonna have lots of time to get in tons of practice, tons of reps with each club until you can use all 14 confidently. But especially within the first month or two of you playing golf, I find it much easier to work off of just 6 or 7 clubs and feel more confident about which irons you want to choose and which irons you know how to hit comfortably. All right, you remember how I started the video by saying just jump in? Well, this next tip aligns perfectly with that philosophy. Just go play golf. There's definitely gonna be some frustrating things about getting out there and playing. There's gonna be some embarrassing moments, but that's kind of what makes golf fun. It's not easy, it's difficult. It takes a lot of practice to get good at, and just getting in there and not being shy about it, I think, is a great way to start. Don't be afraid to hit bad shots during your round, and try the best that you can to separate your self-worth and your confidence from how your golf game is going. Because remember this, even the professionals, even the people that spend 6 to 8 hours every single day practicing under the most high, intense pressure situations, they hit bad golf shots all the time. That's just part of the sport. If you could do it perfectly every time, it probably wouldn't be very fun. One helpful way I've been able to separate me having fun on the golf course from me always playing well, because there's just gonna be some days where you don't play very good golf, is to stop always looking at your scorecard. Look around you, make sure that you're keeping pace with the group ahead of you, make sure you're not getting in the way of your group mates, but then just focus on this individual hole, this individual shot. I see so many brand new golfers hit a couple of bad shots in a row and say something like, oh crap, I'm never gonna break 100 today. And that is just so defeating, and I'm guilty of it myself. It is impossible to focus on what you need to do right now in this moment to complete the golf hole when you're thinking about the entirety of your scorecard and where you're headed. I've choked away so many rounds of like, oh, I'm finally gonna break 80 today, or oh, I'm gonna shoot even par for the first time today. And I think you're just looking at a scope, a score that is way too big, when right now in the moment you need to go, this is the golf shot I have to hit, this is the hole I have to complete, and only worry about that thing. If you can get away with it, have a buddy keep your score, let him stress about the card, and you go out there and focus on now. What do I need to do right now to hit the best golf shot I possibly could? Once you really get hooked on golf and you're just absolutely obsessed, it happens to all of us, you're gonna wanna get better faster. And my advice is just to go get some lessons. Take a single lesson with an instructor, make sure it's somebody you vibe with, that you think is knowledgeable, can understand your swing and help you get better, and then go for it. There are fantastic swing tips all over YouTube and all over Instagram that can be very helpful, but they don't all apply to you and your golf swing. And I think blindly trying to implement them, you can just get super confused. Working with somebody that understands the golf swing, understands your swing, and how he can take you to the next level is super important. And the last tip, a little bit farther down the road, is once you've taken the lessons, you're gonna be really in your head. So my advice, if you can do it, it's an advanced tip, is to think about the swing thought that your instructor told you to think about in your pre-shot routine. But when you stand over the ball to play golf, just jump in, just play golf. Do not think about all the million things you learned in your lesson. You're gonna be dead in the water, and then you're not playing golf, you're doing an exercise. The point of golf is to go out there and have fun, play the game, play the sport. Let the instructions and the discipline come in the pre-shot routine, and then when you step over the ball, just go out there and have fun. Guys, that is it for today. I hope you liked that video. That was a little bit different than my usual just goof off and come up with something weird to do. But I got a lot of those questions asking about how to get started, so I did want to put some thought to what would I find most helpful as a brand new beginner. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments below. Shout out to all the people that have helped me along my golf career. Dobson Ranch, an amazing golf course, so much fun to be out here. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. We are on our way to 500,000 subscribers, which is an insane number. I'm so thankful for all of you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.